Good afternoon. I'm Jane Ali Knight. For people who don't know me, I'm a professor in festival and event management at Edinburgh Napier University. And just over a year ago, we were approached by Scottish Enterprise and also Data Lab to discuss developing a data resource for the Scottish tourism industry. And so that was looking at helping particularly SMEs working across Scotland to understand data. So just listening for the last few hours in terms of a lot of the technology that's been used, certainly myself, I mean, we've been working on the project for the last year, and still today there were lots of things that I was unaware of, didn't really understand. So I think it's quite, and obviously in the room, these are people who I'd say a lot of their businesses are technologically enabled. They understand the space, but I think there's lots of people out there, particularly when we move away from sort of the central belt, that have huge issues in terms of even connectivity to access data. So what we've done is we've developed an online platform. We've used a MOOC and FutureLearn to develop that platform. We've worked with some very able and competent educational technologists to basically transfer the content that we've devised onto the platform. And so what it is it's actually a 5-week sort of modular course aimed at demystifying data. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about the team in terms of who's been involved. And then I'm going to hand over to Ross, who's really been more involved than I have in terms of the actual content, the learning outcomes, and also, more importantly, how you actually access and use this platform. And the good news is it's free. So there's no barriers there. So yeah, myself and Ross from Napier, and we've been working closely with Kim and Aileen, who are in the room today from Scottish Enterprise. We've worked with the Data Lab team, who are based at the University of Edinburgh, and Josh, who's in the room, he was our initial contact there. Then he escaped and went to the University of Edinburgh, but we've still worked closely with him. We've worked with Woodgate Consulting to basically transfer all our thinking and our content onto the platform, which is no easy task. And then also we've had lots of support, particularly from a lot of people in this room, from Expedia, from Camera Obscura. We've got some brilliant sort of video case studies of, and I think to reiterate what James was saying, there's so much expertise within this room and within Scotland in terms of how to use data efficiently and effectively. So what was the rationale? So the rationale was trying to help tourism businesses to actually use data in a sort of more productive way, and even just to understand what data is and to sort of work through the terminology. And to use that data to grow, develop and innovate. And I think that's really important. There's lots talked about in terms of data-driven innovation, and really to get tourism businesses to understand what that is and what data they've got within their business that they might not even realise they have got. So we've spoken to various people in developing the MOOC, and I think what was clear is that uptake and use of data is very mixed. There's obviously, we've got people on one scale like Expedia and Skyscanner, and then on the other level we've got a small B&B operator in the Highlands and Islands who's got, mixed connectivity and data knowledge. And obviously the benefit that an online resource can do, particularly when we're trying to reach those people who maybe are not traditional learners, and to try and overcome some of those gaps in skills, knowledge and awareness of data. And I'm just going to pass you over to Ross, who's going to talk a bit about the actual content of the MOOC.
Thanks, Jane. Thank you, Jane. Hello, everyone. So I'm Ross Tinsley and working alongside Jane on this, very much involved in the content. It's nice to be out the other end where the course is now up and going. This is, or about to launch, this is a bit of a brief run through. There's 5 modules. These are the main themes that we're looking at. And we really kind of go from the ground up. So it's really entry level onwards, just reflecting that wider picture that Jane talked about in the Scottish tourism industry and globally too. Fundamentals on data, importance of data to your business. What is data? What do we mean by it? What fears might we have around it? What are the benefits of data? What are some of the costs, but the benefits of this, why you should be thinking about data? And the second module then going on to the next step, really about developing a data mindset, getting that data culture in your head, thinking with the data head on, about your business and how you can move forward on that. And we have, there's case studies throughout, but particularly here in this third module, how to improve business productivity through data, looking at it from understanding the visitor themselves, so that side, how data can help on that, communications on marketing aspects, again, the role of data within that, and also internally, employees, your workforce, how data can also contribute to a better working environment as well. So looking at all aspects of the business. We also have then a section, maybe like a curated list that we're always adding to about tools to help you make the most of your data. Might be stuff you're already working with internally or partly working with, but aren't maybe making the most of it, as well as what are some more external tools out there. Leading towards some more advanced options as well, and maybe giving some signposting on where to go for assistance on that and working with industry partners. And a final kind of wrap-up theme, really about, we've focused mostly about yourself, your individual business, but about the kind of wider community that you're in, collaboration, we know this already, in terms of competition globally, cooperation locally, and taking that broader mindset into data in terms of opportunities around data collaboration and how small, medium-sized businesses can be coming together and having a kind of larger scale through this. And as well, covering things like we had today, GDPR, issues of privacy. So these kind of fundamental concepts are covered too. Overall expectations on the course, we deal with those fundamentals, simple tools that people can be used. We have a great range of industry case studies. We're aware probably in the most in terms of the accommodation sector has, in terms of partners such as Expedia and the online booking, that's where maybe data's happened first, but we've got case studies from visitor attractions. We've worked with colleagues here, familiar names, Camera Obscura, Mercat Tours, we've also had other, Lindsay Jackson from Festival, Crichton in the room today, Expedia. So getting a range of kind of perspectives, Musselburgh Racecourse. Not just about what they're doing, but also explaining their own data journeys and some of these earlier basic steps. So I'm aware of the wider sector and very much pitching it to them and how can you be coming towards a level of some of the more high-end innovations that we've seen been talking about today. But aware that could be very intimidating as a kind of starting point. So actually, let's take this step by step and this is the kind of journeys that we're on at different levels. We have a start date on the course, initial sign up on the 11th of November. We've got other ones that we've put down as well, 20th January, February. You can see a trend here in terms of the low season time, maybe better opportunities for small, medium-sized businesses to engage with it. And there'll be more coming. We're going to run it for a couple of years. I won't quickly, but just quickly headlines on the learning outcomes. So after going through the course, value and impact of data, what can data reveal about visitor behavior, increasing productivity, data sources, new products or services, innovations. So sometimes it's about innovations, we hear a lot about innovation. Sometimes it's about doing things better, what you already do, but using data to be more efficient. And finally, that collaboration that you see coming through. We have a little flyer. We've got a bunch of them out on our little banner and desk out there. We're actually probably looking for your help in terms of spreading the word and through your networks, through your contacts to the wider Scottish tourism industry. Like I say, there's a lot of great practice that happens here in the Central Belt and a lot of hands-on workshops like what we're at here today. A lot of hunger out there in the wider Scotland, Highlands and Islands, but opportunities to come to these type of things more limited. So this online is seen as a way for reaching out to that platform. Really would appreciate you spreading the word. The links there, some of these initial course dates, that'd be great. And we'll be out in the hallway with flyers to give out to as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry, just to say before we stop, so just to say, obviously, in terms of all you need to do is you need to register with FutureLearn, which is very simple. There's the URL, and then it's free. You just go on and you've got access to the platform for 5 weeks. So it's not like you have to do one a week. You can do, you know, in the middle of the night, early morning, whenever you want to do. So it's a very, very simple process in terms of actually accessing the course. We're outside in the coffee break and we're more than happy to give you more information. Thank you.